have my mouse on it already. Hey, I'm Obi, that's Ed, and we are Drinking from the Garden Host, your favorite podcast. Guess wherever you get your podcast, be it Apple, Amazon, Google, or any other podcast source out there. We're there. You're listening. Ed, how are you?
Doing great, Obi, and I'm excited that you pressed the record button, the summary button. This is going to be a one-shot deal tonight, and I'm going to be able to eat dinner on time. I'm really excited.
Wait, you haven't eaten dinner yet?
No, of course not. I never eat dinner before this time.
Damn. Do you get heartburn at night eating this late?
No, I don't. No. It all depends on the food I eat. But yeah, I don't know what time. What time do you normally eat? I think Well, you and your wife work, so me and my wife work. We never ever eat before 8 p.m. So we're recording this right now, 8 p.m. And I have not eaten yet, and it's normal that I don't eat before 8 p.m. Obi.
Okay, we are recording this at 8 p.m. I am definitely done eating, and it is normal for me to be done eating by 8. If I eat like anytime after 7, it is a mess in my stomach all night. Are you kidding me? Not
Well, so
even.
what I think's funny about that is you're like really shocked that I haven't eaten yet. You're ready to go to bed soon, though, right? Like when we record at 8 o'clock at night, this is like really cutting into your bedtime, isn't it?
I my bedtime has drifted a little bit from when we first started. My bedtime is about 10 o'clock. I head into bed, and by 11:30, I'm asleep. So
All right. All
yeah,
right. You're not terrible. You used to go to bed like real early. Okay. So
I had
that's normal.
I had a spell there when we first started, and I don't know if we started, it was during COVID or right after COVID was over, where, yeah, I was going to bed at 8 o'clock there for a little bit.
Yeah.
And it messed up with us trying to do an episode or two. But that was like a weird thing. We didn't talk about it a lot then. But yeah, like it was a short period of time. But yeah, I was going to bed at 8 o'clock. So I was getting old way before my time.
Yeah, you were. And but that explains why you eat before 8. You can't go to bed before you eat.
Yeah.
But that's curious. I mean, listen, when I was growing up, dinner was on the table at 5 o'clock every day. My dad would come home from work and we'd eat like right away. I can't imagine living in a world where I eat as soon as I get home from work. That just is a weird world for me because I'm used to eating. Literally 9 o'clock at night is a normal dinner time for me and my family.
That would make me nuts. I've never eaten that late at night. Even when my wife and I both went in the office and both worked till 5, 6:37 was the latest we were eating dinner. Even then, like now, that doesn't count for nights when we go out, like on a Friday or Saturday night or something. That's a whole different story. I'll make dinner reservations for 8 o'clock or something. That's not gonna, stop me. But my general rule of thumb is I'm done eating by 7.
Yeah, not
Eating.
me. Not
No,
me. Not me.
no.
And again, because we got the other thing is I got kids and events, got sports, the games go on until later. And so we just got into this thing where we just never eat early. So Obi, about being out and about, I had a big night out last week. Went to the Rolling Stones concert, sponsored by AARP. Talk about a sponsor knowing their market and talk about a band going after a sponsor that is right up their alley. These 80-year-old guys running around on stage was amazing. It was amazing because they did not sound like they were 80. They did not look like they were 80. But that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about was one of the craziest things happened in the parking lot before the concert. Now, the guys coming by to sell me the half price Rolling Stones shirts, that's expected. Although I was interested to see that they now take Cash App, Venmo, and cash, not just cash, because most places going cashless these days. I don't know how these guys outside survive other than Venmo, but I don't know about you, Obi. I got a weird thing about Venmoing some strange guy I'm buying a T-shirt in the parking lot. I mean, would you Venmo someone that you never met? In some way, I'm thinking there's a way they're going to scam me and get stuff out of my Venmo.
I would if they gave me the code, like the picture.
QR code? Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
If they gave me the QR code, I'd Venmo them. I'd be like, I Venmoed you the code you gave me. You don't got the money. Screw you. Sorry, you're lost.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm surprised they don't have the little. They don't take card on the little reader.
Square reader, the square reader.
Yeah.
There's got to be somebody out there taking cards for the the $10 Yankee hats and things like that. But that wasn't even the crazy thing. That's not even where I wanted to go with this. There was this guy who came up to us and he said to us, "Does anybody here have a traditional CD player?"
Traditional CD player.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what another type of CD player is, but he said traditional CD player. Now, Obi, first of all, what would your answer be to that question?
I do not have one anymore.
All right, neither do I. So the answer was no from everybody in our group. And you know what he says to us? You want to know why he was asking?
Because you old.
Well, yeah, we are old, but no, the best part, he had a CD in his hand. And apparently, he's very popular on the internet. He's got his own band, but he doesn't have a Spotify account. So he burns CDs and he was looking to sell CDs to people who had CD players. And he's got 37,000 followers on Instagram. He's all over the internet.
37,000 followers does not sound like a lot of followers. For somebody, I heard something like you need to sell one item, you need like 100,000 followers for one sale. On
Really?
yeah.
Well, this guy's selling CDs. So if you need 100,000 followers to sell like something that people actually use, this guy needs millions of followers to sell CDs.
Yeah, how he doesn't have a Spotify account, or like I knew a guy who had a Spotify account before. It was like, that's crazy to me. Like that's how you're supposed to make. I thought Spotify was how you made independent records. I thought that was the whole point.
Yeah, whether you have a Spotify account or not, because I don't have one myself, I use Amazon Music, but it doesn't really matter. The fact is, this guy's trying to sell CDs in the parking lot of a Rolling Stones concert.
Right, not Rolling Stone CD.
No, his own original stuff. By the way, he said, this is in Jersey. I thought this was hilarious. He goes, "I am the Bruce Springsteen of my own band." Yeah,
And
he was weird. He was clearly weird.
yeah, he doesn't sound like he was the business side of his music career was coming together just yet.
Well, if you got to look at this guy, any career wasn't coming together just yet for this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like he was, unfortunately, I think he was down on his luck, has been his whole life. My wife told me I shouldn't say bad things because he might have issues. I'm like, you think he's asking us to buy a CD? Of course he has issues. I mean, that goes without saying.
Yeah. That sounds like somebody who may have some issues. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree.
And then he asked for a beer. So I don't know if that was just an elaborate way to bum a beer.
Did you give him the beer?
I did not, but the people I was with gave a beer out of their cooler. So one thing about me, those of you who know me probably know this, but I'm not readily giving my beer out to people I don't know.
No, you wouldn't.
Because I bring a certain amount of beer with me to the show. Like, so I'd say, look, I'm gonna be there this many hours, and to pace myself, control myself, I only bring enough beers to like get me through that period of time, but not too much where maybe I can't drive or I'm gonna make an ass out of myself. So if I start giving beers away, now I already brought a couple to begin with, and now I'm really screwing myself. So to get a beer out of me, that's a really big gesture on my part. So,
Do you trade your beers?
oh, I would trade a beer, sure. I mean, listen, if this is a 3 beer night, and I'm not saying that's what the Rolling Stones was, because we're there for a while, it might have been more than 3 beer night. But if it's a 3 beer night, I'm not giving you one because then I have two, and now I'm screwed, right? But I'll certainly trade you one, so I still have three. Sure, I'll do that.
Okay, well, that's awfully good of you. That's good of you.
I mean, this goes back to my days at the nightclub when I would go out with $3 or $4, $3 a lot of times, and then I could tip the guy after I got a $2 pitcher. But if I had $4, I couldn't tip the guy because that allowed me to buy a second pitcher.
Unless you got the $1 pitcher because we were really there early for beat the clock.
Yeah, I was never there that early because I was still eating dinner after 8. I couldn't be out early.
I know. I remember those days fondly, or what I remember of them. So yeah, that's good. Well, I went to Scotland and Dublin. Have you been to either of those places?
What do you think, Obi? I haven't left my freaking driveway in a month. No, I'm joking. But I don't leave America.
You okay? Well, I won't go into Scotland, but Dublin's a place I think you'd quite enjoy.
Now,
Like,
don't the bars close early though? Like, aren't you done drinking by like 9 o'clock at night there?
uh, well, I'm old,
Yeah.
so I didn't make it out past 10. But at 9 o'clock, the one bar we were at that we started. Well, just to be clear here, we were traveling with my cousin and his wife. It was my wife and I, and uh, we had been drinking for a good portion of the day already. And it turns out, well, my wife very much loves the gayborhood, if you will. That's what they call it in Philly, of any city. She finds the art stuff is there, cute and whatever. And that got my cousin talking. And it turns out my cousin is gay bar curious. So we went to a gay bar at part of the night. And we got there at 8 o'clock, and the tables on the upstairs room were all labeled with this table gets put away at 9 o'clock. This becomes a dance floor. So no, the bars definitely stay open past 9 into 10
Well,
o'clock.
at least the gay bars stay open past night.
We left that bar at about 8:45 as they were taking away the first table. Much to my cousin's chagrin, he really wanted to hit the dance floor. But we stopped at another bar, and it was still people were still loading in at 9 o'clock at that bar or
So
pub.
I'm really curious about gay bar curious. Um, so is this like he's always wanted to go to a gay bar in his life, but never had the opportunity, or he's never talked about it, and then when it came up, he let out this deep dark secret? What explain this to me? I've never heard of anybody
More
doing gay
like
bar.
more like we were talking about. We were in the cab with my wife and I, and she was talking about where the last city we had been in, Edinburgh. That she had been there in the gay district, and she asked the cabbie where the gay district was because, like I said, she likes the art and stuff that's usually available there. And the cabbie said, "Oh well, it's right here. We're literally right there." And he started naming some of the gay bars. I don't know how he started deciding to name the gay bars, but he did. And then from there on, my cousin wanted nothing more than to go to the bar named Panties. I don't know why.
It was named Panties.
It was named Panties. Yes.
The greatest gay bar name I ever ran across was when I was in Chicago, and there was a bar named the Manhole,
That,
and
that
I just thought that it never got any better than that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. Here in Philly, we have a popular one by Woody's. That's been my favorite, but that I know of. But Manhole's really good.
Yeah. So gay bar curious. I never heard of that. So
I made that up because he was so like, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go. And then we ended up like he just the moment he heard the name of that bar, it just became like laser focused on going to that bar.
all right.
Yeah.
Now anything else memorable happen in this establishment with your
In that
curious
establishment,
cousin?
no, not really. Nothing particularly memorable happened. Uh it was like the early hours of any pub, other than most of the tables were filled with all people of what appeared to be the same gender. We are talking about a gay bar, so I don't want to fully say that, except for one other table seemed to be a hetero couple. But otherwise, it was your regular pub, people sitting down.
I'm assuming all old people though, right? Because you were there early before the
No,
dancing
no,
started.
no. I was the oldest person by far in the bar. Easily, easily. Most of them were in their 30s.
Were people looking at you, wondering why you were there?
No, no. The guy we went up to the bar to get our drinks. The dude who was at the bar, where we came in, was your typical person who had one or two too many drinks and was going to talk to you while you ordered your beer. very typical experience of the drunk local, if you
All
will.
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
it
All right.
was. I would have been interested to see what happened at night. Oh, the biggest the bartenders were all very well put together. Uh, a
Heard that. You got to be in good shape.
very good shape. I mean, these dudes uh were svelte to say the least. That was the biggest difference, really, compared to your typical bar
They're all slobs.
where they're either Slavs or attractive women for the most part, right?
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
we're used. These were dudes. These guys had not missed leg day, arm day, chest day, neck day. They were all
And you were there for it.
uh I'm listen, when somebody spends that much time at the gym, I do notice. I can't help it. I'm like, wow.
Did you did you talk? I mean, at all? Were you like, so back home I play with swords? Did you have that conversation while you
I
were
did
there?
not have that conversation, but I was. We looked at the menu and I decided I wanted a strawberry daiquiri, and
Okay.
I did say kind of loudly, looking forward to a fruity drink. Then realized that those were the words that had escaped my mouth. Like, oh, okay,
Yeah, you're not allowed to think out loud, I don't think.
yeah, but I wasn't. Yeah, but that was they didn't seem to. Nobody seemed to jump on that in any way.
I'm sure as long as you were paying the bill and tipping your waiter and waitress
Yeah.
and bartender, they were perfectly happy with you.
Yes. Yes.
All
I
right,
suspect.
so obviously you were there for one more than one night. So you told me that you think I would really like Ireland, and I don't think it's just because of the bar panties. So
No, it was more for the rest of the pubs. I mean, it was everywhere we went. There was very well. What's the word I'm looking for? There was a great collection of all sorts of beers, which we know is your drink of choice out at the pub or the bar. Um, Although places serve food, nothing was focused on food. And the number of crazy people walking up and down the street at all hours was spectacular. The lunacy of Dublin is much to be admired. Um, we got to enjoy the FA Cup. For those who don't know, that's football, the football championship. We got to see Man City versus Man United in a pub, and it was everything you would dream of for a European soccer game in a pub. The people were riled up and ready to go.
what now? You're in Ireland though. Are they like? I would assume they hate the Manchester team.
You know, that's what I thought was going to happen, but they definitely were rooting and enjoying. Like, I think they were just enjoying the game for its beauty of the game. You know, like sometimes you watch the World Series and it's not your teams, but you're fired up, or the Super Bowl, right? We get excited.
Sure. Okay.
One of the people there was rooting for the team that lost, which I think was Man United, the blue
No,
team.
Man City lost.
Man City lost. So she was dressed in her blue outfit. She was with a friend. She had her beer and she had her backup beer, so she didn't have to turn to the bartender for her second beer during the first half. And my cousin, who knows a little bit more about football than I do, after Man City went down 2-0 and really had 3 goals, one was offside against them. But a great guy. He looks at this woman and just taps her and goes, "Excuse me," in his American accent. Is the blue team always this bad?
Oh, they just won the Premier League.
Yeah, yeah, I'm aware of that. He was fully aware of that. He told me later that they were the Premier League champions. Uh, and the
For I think
lady,
like the third or fourth year in a row,
yeah,
something crazy like
yeah,
that.
yeah. The lady turned to him and said, "Oh, no, no, they're usually quite good." And then she turned to her friend at the bar, and the guy, my cousin said, the guy goes, "No, he's needling you. I can't believe he did that." And she was just like,
I can't believe she behaved that well. You would think she would have thrown her backup beer on him.
I think she really thought at the moment of the question that, and the way he asked it, he pulled it off like, "I don't really know."
Got
And
it.
by the time
I'm a dumb American and I
I'm a
don't
dumb
know this.
American, by the time it like processed through, she was just like, "You got me, you got me," you know. So that was fun, and then there was Comic-Con situation, as best as I can call it. Oh, before that, there's a tour boat that's really a car, but looks like a boat, and everybody on it has Viking hats and beer. That was going on. And
Nice.
there was the bait and tackle shop in the middle of the bar district.
Like with like worms?
Yeah, like rubber worms, real worms, weights, fishing, like a genuine, I don't want to say like a genuine, legit bait and tackle shop.
Was there a place to fish?
There's a river, but we didn't see anyone fishing in the river. So I think it's called the Luffy River or the Luffy River divides Dublin. Everyone who's ever been there is like, dude, you were there for 3 days. You don't know the name of the river. No, I don't.
No,
That
you were
wasn't.
too busy hanging out in the pubs.
Yeah. And so that goes on. So and then to make a long story short, the last thing we saw a lot of the guys dressed up in superhero costumes, men ranging in ages from my age to 25. It was one big giant group. We thought maybe there was a stag party or something. And then after watching them for a while, they lined up along a bar, along the outside of a pub. And as we were walking back to our hotel, a woman in the pub came out and said, "All right, fellas, you can come in." And they all came in, and the cheer in the pub from the women made us think that maybe they were strippers.
But you don't know because you didn't go check it out.
We didn't go into that pub. No, we were on the way back to our wives.
Obi, don't you think that if you're walking down the street and there's a bunch of guys dressed as superheroes and they're going into a pub lined up and there's a cheer, wouldn't you want to go find out what that was going on in there?
We did, but we had to get back to our wives.
No, you didn't, because they also wanted to know what was going on there. And if you had found out, you'd have a better story to tell your wives. And quite frankly, you'd have a better story for this podcast right now.
So I will apologize to all our fans that I did not follow the Comic-Con collection of men into the bar as they were being cheered. Also, do understand they were about 10 folks, and there was another 10 or 20 people after them in line. So I don't know if I would have, that time I got in, I would have seen what was happening.
I don't know, Obi. I think you just let some people down. But, I forgot something, Obi, about old people. And it goes back to this concert experience. So for those of our listeners that go to concerts, everything is, I was talking before, everything's cashless, right? So even the tickets are really ticketless, right? They're all mobile tickets, right, Obi?
Yeah.
You have this experience with mobile tickets?
Oh, I kind of hate it.
Yeah, why do you hate it, Obi?
Because there's always that feeling that I'm going to lose it, or my phone won't work at that exact moment. My Face ID won't work. I'll forget my password. It's a lot easier just to give someone a piece of paper sometimes than to like make my phone work at that moment in time. Same thing with an airplane.
It also feels as though when you're at the ticket taker, right? It's the most pressure packed time you're ever going to open your phone in your life, right? Because you're like, oh shit. Like you just start to think weird things like I'm going to forget the password to my phone, or like you said, it's all of a sudden not going to recognize my face. So we're walking into the Rolling Stones concert, and I was with my wife and I was with two buddies, and I did not buy the tickets. My friend had bought the tickets months ago. I Venmoed him the money, and I'm a trusting guy. I'm like, I had gone to another concert earlier this year with the same gentleman. Same thing, buys the tickets, I Venmo him the money, I show up, we get in, no questions, no issues, no big deal. Well, on this particular occasion, all of a sudden we stop, steps from the security, and he starts mumbling and looking at his phone. He forgot his Ticketmaster password. And he got locked out of Ticketmaster while we had just tailgated for 4 hours. The show is the show's going to start. Like we waited till the show was going to start, and he's locked out of his phone. And I just was very calm. I can't believe I was as calm as I was. And then his other buddy, said, well, try it on your phone. Eventually, we get in, we get the tickets, and I just had to look at him. I said, next time, download the tickets to your effing wallet.
Absolutely. That's what we should.
Like the day you buy the tickets, download them to, don't leave them. So this is a message to everybody. If you have tickets and they're still in Ticketmaster and not in your Apple or Google Wallet, just take it from me. Go download it to your wallet.
This applies to concert tickets, airplane tickets, train tickets. Tickets need to be in the wallet because then there's only one password / Face ID you have to worry about.
Yes, and you don't need internet. Like if it's on Ticketmaster, you need the internet to get to Ticketmaster's website. If
Right.
you're at a location that the data doesn't work just because it's a remote location, you're not getting your tickets.
Another great point. Yeah, it's got to go in the wallet.
Because your wallet is actually in your phone. I don't know how it is in your phone. I don't know, but your phone, your tickets are there. You don't need Wi-Fi. You don't need data. You can just get your ticket.
Because I had this. That was my plane experience. I was boarding going into the TSA area, and all of a sudden, and I thought they wanted my passport out, so I had my passport, and then they asked for the ticket, and I had my glasses on and like three. But it was in the wallet at least. But yeah, like 5 people went rushing by me on TSA.
I was gonna say, I can just imagine you're one of those guys because I'm the guy behind you going, "What the f is this guy doing? Doesn't he have his act together?" I would have been steaming by you. I would have made a comment about how you're a loser.
I stepped right out of the way. I was like, "Nope." Yeah. Here's the thing: do you know people like to line up? Like people like to wait in line. This is what I discovered on my flight home from Dublin. So, due to the traveling arrangements with my cousin getting changed, and they had to go early, we arrived 4 hours early for our flight from Dublin to the US, but they don't open up the ticketing booth until 3 hours before, and if you had to drop, you have to drop off luggage. So we had to wait around for an hour, and the line starts. Everybody goes to get into line, and there's a guy there who keeps going, "No, you can't stand in line yet. You can go take a seat. No, you can't stand in line yet." Finally, he says people can stand in line. Everyone gets in line. And we go do our luggage thing. And of course, the next line is through TSA. Everyone gets in line, gets through that. After that, there is we got to do our pre-check. We did customs while in Ireland, which was awesome, by the way. There was no line. Meant that when we got back to the US, we picked up a domestic. Customs in Ireland was great. It's apparently the only EU country that does that. So if you go to the EU, and I know you're jonesing to get out of the country,
make a stop. I gotta go to Ireland.
Make a stop in Dublin before you go home for one overnight. Enjoy the pubs. They aren't only open till 9. If they are, even better. And fly out of Dublin so you can get. It's worth it. Believe me, it's worth it. Then when we got through to our gate was like 4 whatever, but it was a separate section of the airport that had a closed door. And there was all these chairs to sit around there. And everybody got online to get through this closed door that we had no idea was going to open. Not everyone. This is when my wife and I finally like, what are these people doing? Because it's the same people. We've been watching them the entire time. They got online to get through a door to go to the gate that you could see from these other seats that we were in. Then, they do okay, we're going to start boarding, but we're going to board like the fancy customers first. And everybody gets online anyway. And they just wait online till their number is called. And they're like, excuse me. What are you standing online? You like to stand. People like to stand online. They're out of their fucking minds. There's beautiful chairs. Plug your phone in, charge that shit. What are you just standing online for?
So, Obi, I think you're right about the craziness of people standing online, but I blame the airlines. The airlines, using like the principle of scarcity, have taught us that we need to stand online so that we can get our bags in the overhead compartment. Because they're not large enough. So we know that at least 5 people are going to get screwed and have to gate check their bag. And we don't want to be one of those 5 people.
I always say yes when they say, can I check your bag for free?
Yeah, I'm as I get older, I'm into that. But when I was younger, I didn't want that because sometimes when they check your bag for free, they gate check it, you get it back at the jetway sometimes, but sometimes it goes right to baggage and then it screws you up for the whole reason you didn't check bags in the first place. So it
Well,
all depends on how are they going to gate check your bag.
oh no. So this one, when I gave them my baggage, they asked me, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah, but some people like to have their shit with them. They like to have if they have a CD player, they need their CDs.
That's what you get two bags for. You get two bags.
I'm just telling you, but this is why
I
people
hear
are
you.
waiting online.
I
This is
do
why people wait
understand.
online.
I do understand everything you're saying about that part of it. I do. Um,
It's the airline's fault. Now, why there are people lined up to go through a door, I don't get. And why you're lined up to check your luggage 3 hours before the flight, I don't get that either. Um, I am a big fan of trying to get through security as quick as possible so I don't get stuck behind guys like you fumbling with their phone and their glasses trying to find their passports and their tickets. I got to get in and I got to get out.
but here's this is why I like the check bag. This is why I like if I'm checking the bag, if they say, "Can we take any bags for free?" I always say yes. Less bags to get through security with.
Yeah, it's true. But then you don't have like your essential medicines or your underwear. Like,
I got one bag that has a change of clothes, everything I want on the plane, and all my medicines. That's the bag that I never give them,
oh, okay.
and
Well,
they
that's
won't
how I
take it.
travel. That's the only
Yeah,
bag I have.
yeah. Oh well, okay. Well, that's because you don't go overseas.
That's right.
Hmm. I forgot.
Because
Furthest you go is Sam's furthest away game. I got
exactly because the foreign countries they all suck.
all those foreign countries suck, and the charm is that we suck. I'm Obi. That's it. We'll catch you next time on Drinking from the Garden Hose.